Hi there! Today we're going to be ranking every single episode of SpongeBob from Season 1 to Season 5. I'm basically going to be doing this off the top of my head, and since those are the episodes I watched religiously for the past 20-something years of my life, I figured those would be the best ones to rank and talk about. We have all of the episodes from Season 1 through 5, and let's just begin. 20,000 Patties Under the Sea. That's where SpongeBob and Patrick get like this big traveling, Krusty Krab thing. That episode was okay, but it's not the season I remember. This was kind of when I stopped watching, so C tier by default. I'll be fair. Big Pink Loser. That's the episode where Patrick never won any awards and he starts copying SpongeBob. Bro, that's an S tier episode. Patrick, that's a pickle.
Yes.
Classic episode. So S tier. Arrgh. Okay, that's the one where they play the board game and it's the treasure map, right? That's an A. I'll give it an A tier. Oh, East?
I thought you said Weast.
Atlantis SquarePantis. I didn't really like that one. That was an okay special, but compared to all the other SpongeBob TV specials, that one was kind of boring. So D tier. Born Again Krabs. Okay, so this is the episode where Mr. Krabs dies because he tried to sell spoiled meat and he eats it, and then the Flying Dutchman gives him a second lease on life. That's a good episode. That's a B tier episode. I liked it. As a kid, I kind of disliked it because Mr. Krabs was such a scumbag, and then he traded SpongeBob away for a nickel. No, it was good, but not A tier or anything higher than that. Dying for Pie. That is an S tier episode as well. Squidward buys SpongeBob that pie, and it happens to be a bomb in a pre 9/11 world. That's pretty funny. Actually, when did that episode come out? January 2001. So yeah, it's a pre 9/11 episode. Explosions are funny.
Is this how you get your sick kicks?
Bubble Buddy. That was I love that episode. Personally, I'll put that in the A tier. I'm kind of just going off my first instinct. What does my gut say when I think of the episode? No one wants to hang out with SpongeBob, so he'll just create his own friend. And it brought the birth of Happy Leif Erikson Day.
Hinga-dinga-durgan.
As seen on TV, that's a classic, A tier. Look, Gary, there I am. That was me when I was in the Scott the Woz big episode. I was like, look, Gary, there I am. Let's see, Bossy Boots. I didn't really like that episode. Pearl took over the Krusty Krab and made it the cool place, and SpongeBob had to make salads. I think anytime early SpongeBob, anytime he was just like being like belittled or beaten down or having a bad day, I was having a bad day. This one says Among Us. Fungus Among Us, so S+. No. Oh, it's the one where Gary has to eat. I don't remember too much of that episode. Season 5 was when I really kind of stopped watching, so I'll put that in the D tier just because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. Gary Takes a Bath. It's a classic episode, but again, anytime that whole episode was SpongeBob just trying to give Gary a bath and he was being defiant, and I didn't like seeing SpongeBob, have a rough day. Was that say Frankendoodle? That is a beautiful episode. Everyone can quote Doodle Bob and his famous Shakespearean-like quote. So that is an S tier episode. Squirrel Jokes. I laugh. Why does it take more than one squirrel to screw in a light bulb?
Because they're so darn stupid.
A tier. Can you spare a dime? That's a great episode. Even though that's an episode where SpongeBob kind of suffers, it's still in a funny kind of way. Mr. Krabs loses his lucky dime or whatever, and he blames it on Squidward, and they argue about it. And I love the ending where SpongeBob just freaks out and like yells at Mr. Krabs. It's classic. Pest of the West. I don't remember this episode, so by default put it in the D tier. Club SpongeBob. That's the one where they have the magic conch shell. That was a good episode, but it was one of the few times I felt bad for Squidward. As a kid, I felt bad for characters in cartoons so easily. I thought they were real people, so I was like, man, Squidward just wants to eat food and this conch shell is being a jerk. But it is a good episode, so we'll put that in the B tier. Bubble Stand was the first SpongeBob episode I ever watched. I don't think it's the first episode ever, but I distinctly remember watching it. So that gets an S tier, with the technique. Technique! Clams! I never noticed how much of a Jaws parody that is. That's funny. That's a great episode. Mr. Krabs goes crazy for his $1 millionth dollar. I love it. That's one of the few episodes I love watching over and over. Then again, I love watching all these episodes over and over. Oh, S. Is this gonna be our first S+ episode? Chocolates with nuts? Ugh. I love this episode. I love Patrick and SpongeBob trying to sell chocolate. There's not a single unquotable moment in that episode. Whether it be the old ladies, like, they're selling chocolates! He's like, what? What are they selling? You know? Or Fred, who's just yelling chocolate. Every second of that episode, you could quote it. Chocolate! Hooky. I like that episode. Obviously the one with the hooks. Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob not to do it, and he does it anyway. That's okay. I didn't like it, because at the end, like, SpongeBob's like, I'm stuck by the hooks, even though it's supposed to be a lesson about, you know, doing what you're told, I guess? I don't know. Oh my god, Crabby Land! I love Crabby Land. Mr. Krabs tries to take advantage of the children. Not like that. But he makes his own little theme park to scam the kids out of, and it's terrible. They didn't see Crabby the Clown.
But all I saw out there was Chibi the Cheapskate.
Dumped. I hated this episode as a kid. It's good, like, it's technically a good episode, but personally, I hated it. Gary was such a dick to SpongeBob, and it was like, it had this consistent depressing tone throughout all of it, and it had that one sad song, you know the one. It was playing that the entire time, like every 2 minutes that song would play, and it was so depressing. Fear of a Krabby Patty. That's the one where SpongeBob makes too many Krabby Patties, right? Give it up for day 15. I can't remember anything about it, honestly, so there it goes. Help Wanted. I believe this is the first episode, so by default, I think it has to go in the S+ tier. It made SpongeBob, so by default, it has to go in that tier, or in that area. New Student Starfish. That was I love this episode also. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. I love this episode because season 1 through 5 was what I loved. Patrick goes to boarding school with SpongeBob and the shenanigans ensues. They gotta save Roger, they get into fights. It's fantastic. No, 8. We'll put it in the 8 tier. I'll be fair with it. The S tier is gonna be saved for the most loving episodes that I could not live without, such as the Graveyard Shift. I love this episode. I'm gonna try and stop saying that. Well, fine if you don't want my money. And then boom, 24-hour Krusty Krab, the hash slinging, crash bringing, flinging.
The hash slinging slasher!
The fun episode. That's I'll put that in the S tier. It brought to life one of the most beloved songs. This should be the world national anthem, is the fun song. And I love at the end, like, Plankton, but then you showed me friendship, and then I realized that's all I ever wanted. And he's like, really? He's like, no, not really. Like, everything about that episode was great. Home Sweet Pineapple. That's a pretty good episode. That's the one where his home gets eaten by the little nematodes. The Mermaid Man and Barnacle Saga. Man, how many are there? There's like 6 of them? The first one is when they visit them in the old folks' home and they're just like, we're retired, kid. And then they come out of retirement. Anyway, yeah, there's no way I could remember what every episode in Saga was. What was this one? Number 2 is where SpongeBob gets the conch shell. I love that one. That's an A tier episode also. I guess we'll look up number 3. Is this where they babysit? Yeah! Okay. This is an important episode. This is where Man Ray gives up his life of evil. Honestly, which is the one where the Justice League of Friends gets... I love that one. That one might be like my favorite Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode. Number 4 is absolutely S tier for me. I love that episode, man. Oh no, wait a minute. Number 5 is the one with the Justice League of Friends or whatever. So what's number 4? Did I just read it wrong? Okay, hold on. Number 5, let's put that up here in the S tier. But what was number 5, or what was number 4? I must have misread something. Oh, it's the one with, you should have said it to M to W for Wumbo. That is a good one too, but it's not as good as the Justice League episode. Damn, there's a lot of episodes here. The training video was funny, and I like it, but it's, when you've seen it once, it's kind of slow moving. And I can't really, I'll sit through it, but it's not my favorite time. Oh, Plankton's army with his, with his stupid redneck family, that's hilarious.
G, Billy Bob, Billy Jim, Billy, Banana Fan, Philly.
Oh, pre-hibernation week. This had the heavy metal and SpongeBob needing to do stuff with Sandy, but he couldn't say no because she's a girl and he's a simp. So, hey, man, we got a lot in common. Employee of the Month. That is another classic. The A tier is filling up pretty heavy right now. I don't want to give things, like, too much. Like, this was... Again, this is just my personal opinion list. Let's put this in the S tier. The Christmas episode... Something about Nickelodeon Christmas episodes in the mid-2000s, they were always, I mean, it's because I grew up in it, so that's why it's so, like, charming to me, but, nah, man, the Christmas episode is, mwah. Grandma's Kisses. I didn't like this episode. Okay, the reason I didn't like it was because SpongeBob was being bullied because his workers and people were like, oh, you love your grandma. And he was embarrassed, and so we wanted to stop. And then his grandma, like, bullied him to, like, oh, you want to grow up? Fine, here's taxes. And I was like, bro, can you be meaner? Band Geeks, another S tier episode. The Bubble Bowl. That's it. That's all anyone has to say. And you're on board with putting this in the S tier. The Imitation Crabs, that was okay. That was when Plankton makes the robotic Mr. Krabs and then tries to, like, trick SpongeBob into giving him the formula. It was okay. Oh, the Idiot Box. I'll put that in the A tier as well. Imagination. Like, Squidward got jealous that SpongeBob and Patrick could have fun in a box and he needed his stupid TV. Like, it says a lot about our society. Just One Bite. I love that episode. I'll put that in regular S tier. Just, you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward? Every single one of these episodes has a meme that's been popular, like, on the internet in the past 3 years. We shall never deny a guest, even the most ridiculous request. It's a nice episode. I had an accident. Oh, that's where SpongeBob, he hurts his butt. And then he gets super afraid, and he's just like, Penny, Chip, use napkin. I think those are the 3 friends. Man, there's so much here. There's still so much left. The Secret Box, another box-related episode. SpongeBob is being a little nosy jerk and wants to see what Patrick's got, and it's that embarrassing picture at the Christmas party. That's a B tier episode. Pizza delivery. Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza for you and me. S tier. Oh, the salty. Welcome to the salty spittoon. How tough are ya? That's another great episode. The Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy motion picture. That's the one where they make the movie. All the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes are good, so they all get an A tier, except that one. Nature Pants. SpongeBob wants to become a hippie. That was an okay episode. I don't remember how it ends. He just comes home and he's like, never mind, I don't want to live in nature. Nature sucks. Neptune Spatula. Oh, so many of these early episodes I haven't seen in like years because I don't have TV anymore. So I don't, I can't really watch it whenever I want. But these early episodes where like SpongeBob battles Neptune and makes the better burger. Quality over quantity was the lesson. Opposite Day. I felt bad for Squidward in this episode, but it's still pretty good. C tier. Oh, the pickles with one of SpongeBob's many rivals, Bubble Bass. That is an A tier episode. What is this? This is the Alaskan bullworm, of course. That's a classic. Crabborg. Okay, that's an S episode. Mr. Krabs is a robot. Squidward's father never hugged him. Isn't that sad? Ooh, Procrastination. I related to this one way too much as a kid. I was like, oh, there's a word for what I do in my school life, which is put it off until the last minute. I love the Nasty Patty also. That's an S episode. Like, killing the health inspector, SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs literally causing a crime, or almost burying a guy alive. Oh yeah. Rockabye Bivalve. As a kid, I never knew what that word meant or how to pronounce it. I still might have said it wrong, but that's a good one. That's an S tier episode. SpongeBob and Patrick become parents, and then it ruins their friendship almost, which is Sailor Mouth. This episode is dedicated. It created a phenomenon for everyone to use the dolphin sound as a censor when they say bad words.
Holy shit!
There are 13 bad words. The most I'll do is I'll give a quote from each episode. How's that sound for a trade-off instead of a review? Midlife Crustacean. I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid. And then Mr. Krabs looks at his own mom's panties. What the hell episode was that? What was actually going on? Shanghaied. Oh, is that the one where SpongeBob and Patrick joined the crew? The Flying Dutchman's crew, and then eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a sailor by the toe. I actually have a story. So in that episode, SpongeBob gets the final wish to like, I wish the Dutchman was a vegetarian, and then they turn into fruit smoothies. My friend had the DVD where it had two alternate endings where Patrick and Squidward make the wish, but it ends up with them still getting eaten. Ooh, am I a pretty girl? Schmitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen. It's a very a floating shopping list. Very quotable episode once again. Ooh, the Snowball fight episode. That's classic. I when I watched that episode, I lived in Vegas where it was always hot. So anytime I saw snow on TV, I was like, oh man, this rules. I'm getting to these points where I can't remember a lot of these episodes. The strike episode. We must rip the floorboards of the establishment and oppression. Ripped pants. The episode was good. SpongeBob was wanting attention too much, but that song at the end. If the episode was just that song, I think I still would love it and put it in the S tier. Patty hype. Ooh, that's the Pretty Patties. I think I like that episode a lot because Mr. Krabs made fun of SpongeBob. SpongeBob became a success. Doing Time. Is that the one about borrowing? And they stole a balloon? No, that might be Life of Crime, actually. What is Doing Time? Doing Time was when Mrs. Puff went to jail for having SpongeBob get in a car accident, and she wanted to stay there. Squillium Returns. This is where they change up the Krusty Krab to become a 5-star restaurant. You're a cashier. The Reef Blower. That was a weird one. That was like a silent cartoon. That's a good episode, but oh, I was looking for this one. The Painters. Nah, I just like to mess with ya. They paint Mr. Krabs' house and they ruined his first dollar. Oh, Squidville. I think I love this episode a lot because that's the one where Squidward realizes that he does need SpongeBob and Patrick. Or he realizes that Squidward sucks and living around a bunch of Squidwards is terrifying. Squid's Day Off. I'll put that in B tier. I liked it. SB129. Is that the one where SpongeBob and friends, or Squidward goes in a time machine and goes to the future? Future! That's a good episode. The Suds. I really enjoyed the scene where he gets SpongeBob and Patrick get their treatment and it's like real life sponges and starfish. Something about that as a kid was weirdly satisfying to me. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, the Great Snail Race. SpongeBob is too much of a jerk and pushes Gary too hard. It's okay, Rocky. You go when you feel like it. Oh, there's so many episodes here. Why can't I think of a lot of these? The Strangler! Oh, that's a hilarious episode. Karate Island. That was the the Game of Death episode where Sandy has to fight her way I liked it. Even though it was one of the later episodes, still good. The camping episode. Oh, let's gather around the campfire and put that in No, I don't want to. It's great. That song is also great. Oh, the missing identity. That's a good one. It's, well, at least I'm not wearing my shirt backwards.
3:28 a.m.
The pranks. That's with the invisible spray. And then they get naked and Mr. Krabs shows that to the whole Krusty Krab.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Okay, so after all this time, I think this is my personal SpongeBob tier list. Every episode, season 1 through 5 that I was watching. Here we go. Not a lot in S+. I feel like if I actually sat down and thought about it, I could put a couple more up there, but in terms of like the to me, those are like the 5 episodes that are like gold. S is basically, these episodes are perfect. A is, I need to watch these every day and I love them. Basically, the difference between S and A is like that. So yeah, here's the definitive SpongeBob episode tier list. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I'm tired.